in case you haven't noticed. Welcome back to the channel for anybody new. Thanks for clicking. Anybody who has watched before, thanks for coming back. I appreciate the support. So today's video, as you can see by the title and as I'm sure the thumbnail drew a lot of people in, is what it's like as a half-blind artist. I'm going to talk about some of the struggles and the setbacks that I face on a day-to-day basis, and as I'm sure a lot of people have been curious to know as what happened and the accident itself. So grab a beverage and enjoy. Just to make it clear, which is quite ironic, when I say half blind, I mean completely half blind, lights out.
It's lights out and away we go!
I can't see a thing from the left eye. Some people think it's the right because it's flipped, so I can understand the confusion. I'll give you an example of what it's like. Just try to make an example on another camera of what it would be like to see from my perspective, but if you want to know, just close one of your eyes and you'll get a pretty good visualization of what it's really like to be completely half blind. The main setback I face with being half blind is my depth perception, so things seem closer or further away than they actually are. I may finish. Anyway, sometimes I'm not sure how close or far away I am. A lot of the time it's with smaller details, so I'll have to get really close up to the camera. I'll have to get really close up to the canvas and make sure that I know when the brush is about to hit. That would be the main struggle that I would have when it comes to painting. If you want to test this depth perception problem out yourself, something you can try is to get a small object like a rubber or a ball, stand maybe 4 or 5 feet away from somebody and get them to throw the ball to you, and make sure that you have one of your eyes closed. Obviously mine doesn't need closed because it doesn't work. And then try it with both eyes open, and you'll realise the difference that the depth perception makes. And let me also just say, I'm not saying other people who aren't completely lights out,
It's lights out!
act out blind in one of their eyes, or both aren't actually blind. I know there's plenty of different levels of blindness. The accident that everybody sort of asks about is the next topic. This comment sums it up pretty well if you want to pause and read this. Mr. Man here has commented exactly what happened, as he was obviously there. As for the undetailed version, because I'm not going to get into it as it's personal, it's part of my life, I'm just going to say what actually happened. And before sorry to stop again, what actually happened, I'm going to be showing some photos of how the eye, when it had happened, and how it slowly deteriorated over time, because it wasn't always completely closed over. So it was pretty peak COVID, and you were allowed to go out people's backs, you weren't allowed in their homes. And I should have a picture somewhere of the amount of alcohol that we had that night, or a version of it, and it was just too much drink and had a good fall and bingo. Apparently it didn't seem too bad at first. There was just a cut around my eyelid and it wasn't swollen. Obviously I didn't know if it was blind yet because it was covered up with a rag. Got the ambulance, went down to the hospital, and they were doing the tests. They were covering this eye up, opening this eye, and couldn't see anything, but I was still pretty drunk at the time, so it hadn't hit me yet. As for the next morning, woke up, this was the state of the eye. X marks the spot. We had surgery, I think it was the next night, maybe the night after, but I couldn't have anybody in the hospital, so it was a lot of time on my own. The muscle that was damaged behind the eye was just so damaged that the eyelid was starting to shut over, and that's why it always looks like I'm winking at you. I'm not winking at you, I promise. That was a thing. The other impact would it would more be a psychological impact, and it's probably just comments. And I know a lot of people say, how could that affect you? Because it's just people asking what happened to your eye, but it's sort of, it gets going and keeps going, and it then sort of gets you questioning, like, do I look mental? Which I don't really think in my mind I have too much of a problem with, and I deal with it quite well in my opinion. But you get asked so much to the point where you now make a video about it, so that if anybody ever asks, they get sent to this video. Not saying don't ask questions, but you're just going to get sent to this video. So if you're from a YouTube short video and you've been sent to this video, well, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. So if I was to give any advice to anybody out there with any disabilities, use me as an example as probably picking the worst thing you could have done in relation to the injury. Visual injury, visual arts. Doesn't really add up, but it added up pretty well. So take it from me, if I'm able to make something of myself, which I'm slowly but surely doing, you can do it too. It'll take a couple of years, I'm sure. I'm still learning every day, still making really bad paintings, still a lot of things I don't know how to do, and I'm gonna just keep trying. Thanks for watching the video. If you've made it this far, please do comment what you think is a body part you would say is the least important. Yeah, we'll go with that. Keep an eye out for the next video.